someone got into the world where we see how it goes. I don't know, music means a lot to me. And the most popular stream on the channel today was almost a year ago where we were bringing music to Ireland next. And we looked into some other music after it, but I just never really made it after it. And I wanted to have kind of a cute limit that we could make wrap around music in a way. Something to kind of make it a little bit more, I don't know, stimulating to the senses. And I figured for the pilot episode, what we would do is, you know, hop in the car, go for a spin, put on some tunes on the jukebox. I say jukebox, I mean on the radio. And I guess talk about, you know, the music that inspired me or was important to me growing up, you know. So we've hopped into Beep Beep and we're going to do a little bit of a lap, or I don't know, a nice Sunday drive, let's call it, will we? And we can talk about the songs that I listened to growing up. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about the Brimful of Asha Corner Store remix with Norman Cook. So this was actually the first song I ever remember hearing. I just remember being maybe 4 years old or something and seeing this music video on TV, and just, I don't know, it was my first time seeing a music video. It's the first song I remember hearing, and yeah, we'll stick it on, sure. Hopefully you'll like it. Let me know how the audio is as well. That's probably the most important thing, you know. And it's not playing. Lovely. You can already see the technical gremlins are starting to come into the stream. There we go. You'll probably recognize this track from the Inside Oneself outro. Let's merge. My opening.
There's dancing behind movie scenes, behind the movie scene.
Listen to Talkin tunes.
She's the one that keeps the dream alive, from the morning past the evening to the end of the light. Brimful of Asher on the 45. Well, it's a brimful of Asher on the 45. Brimful of Asher on the 45. Well, it's a brimful of Asher on the 45.
So I don't really have much of a reference for the original song,
Behind movie scenes, behind those movie screens.
because I know this is a
Asher
remix.
Bosley, she's the one that keeps the
Ah,
dream
bollocks.
alive, from the morning past
Sorry,
the
I
evening
wasn't
to
my
the
eyes
end
on
of the light. Brimful of Asher on the 45. Well, it's a brimful of Asher on the
Selfie.
45. Brimful of Asher
I kind of
on
ruined
the
the effect there a
45.
little
Well,
bit.
it's a brimful of Asher on the 45. Everybody needs a bosom for a glow. Everybody needs a bosom.
What do you talk about in the game? This is real rain. Anyway, I've turned it down, it's fine.
Singing, illuminate the main streets and the cinema aisles. We don't care about no government warning about that promotion of the simple life of the dams they're building. Brimful of Asher on the 45. Well, it's a brimful of Asher on the 45. Brimful of Asher on the 45. Well, it's a brimful of Asher on the 45. Everybody needs a bosom for a glow. Everybody needs a bosom. Everybody needs a bosom for a glow. Everybody needs a bosom. Everybody needs a bosom for a glow. Everybody needs a bosom. pillow. Everybody needs a bosom. Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Everybody needs a bosom. Mine's on the 45.
It's kind of a nice little good song. I have no idea what it's about though. I need to stop doing the reverse look. I need to start doing this. Flock Bell, that's the classic. That was the Brimful of Asha Corner Shop remix. First song I ever heard. I was like 4 or something.
Live in the spotlight with Spotify Premium.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to pay for Spotify
curate,
Premium.
and listen
I
to your
refuse to on
playlists
principle.
uninterrupted, even offline. Enjoy 3 free months now and cancel anytime. Tap the banner to learn more.
Oh, okay, so it's actually not playing the playlist that I put together. That's awesome. Give me a second. This song's not supposed to be playing. So we're playing this one. So both of my parents were big fans of country music. When I was young, we used to travel a lot, and just for the days of iPads or whatever, you had tape Walkmans, but it was all my parents' tapes.
Please don't take him just because you can.
So my entire musical upbringing was just Western music.
Beyond compare with
Johnny
flaming
Cash,
locks of
Johnny
auburn
Burke.
hair with ivory skin and
Can't wait,
eyes of
really.
emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring. Your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene.
So the chat's not
He
coming up for
talks
me now.
about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep
Well,
him
no,
quiet
this isn't
when he
YouTube, so
calls your name,
this is Spotify.
Jolene.
Oh, sorry, you're quoting it.
And I can easily
Sorry, you're quoting
understand
it
how you could easily take
by
my
YouTube
man,
Premium,
but you
yeah.
don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Jolene,
Nice travel
Jolene,
music.
Jolene, Jolene. I'm begging of
So,
you, please don't take
while
my
the song is playing,
man.
I'm just going to talk about what I want to do with the stream. So,
Jolene, Jolene,
Ghost brought out their new album, which a song just accidentally played from.
please don't take
And the plan was to react to some new music as it comes out, like we did with Next Gen. And I definitely want to do that at some point. There's a lot of music that I've been recommended to listen to that I haven't actually tuned into. Specifically, Sleep Token and what's the other popular one that people go on about? Sleep Token and the one. Oh, there's that other popular metal band, but I haven't listened to any of their stuff yet. So I want to have a stream where I just listen to all their stuff, you know. I also haven't listened to all of Chromacopia from Tyler the Creator yet, so that's something I very much want to listen to because I've listened to I think 2 singles from that. I've listened to Paranoid and what was the other one? Thought I Was Dead, and I really enjoyed those. Hopefully it won't go back to that queue now. Okie dokie, it's ignoring the playlist. Nice. Is there a way to like ignore the queue? It says navigate to the queue thing, but there's no queue thing. I feel like I'm gonna have to just fix this every time. It's not something I really want to do, but okay. So I think Flick will like this one. Because Flick is a big fan of Disney movies and The Jungle Book. Just skip the traffic. Bye.
I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man cub, and stroll right into town, and be just like the other men. I'm tired of walking around, oh, ooby-doo. I wanna be like
So my favorite Disney movies as a kid were Lady and the Tramp and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I could be wrong. I don't remember those songs having nearly as iconic songs as Jungle Book. Oh yeah, this is the bit where Jonathan Davis from Korn comes in. The Florida Man game. I have not. What is the Florida Man game? Don't say that's GTA 6. 'Cause that's basically Florida Man the game to me.
now don't try to kid me, man cub. I made a deal with you. What I desire is man's red fire to make my dream come true. Now give me the secret, man cub.
I kinda wish I went with an RV.
Clue me what to do. Give me the power of man's red flower so I can be like you.
I probably won't play GTA 6 when it comes out because I don't have current gen. I don't have a PS5 or Series S or X. Getting GTA on like the cloud seems like not a death wish, but I don't know. I guess I can get digital download. It's like €300 just to play a game. Like how many other games would I want to get a Series S for? I think I don't know how much extra a Series S would have cost with a disc drive, but I really wish they had built it with one. I like owning stuff. Christopher Nolan feels the same way. Oh yeah, that Google search Florida Man game. Yeah, I've played that. Yeah. There's another one of those called the album game, and I have to find the instructions for it. It was something that was on like 4chan back in the day. There's nothing heinous or callous about it. It's actually just a fun graphic design kind of exercise to do. Maybe, see, I don't like doing, I wouldn't like to do that game anymore, the album one, because I'm more confident as a graphic designer now. It's funnier to do it when you aren't that confident, so you can just stumble onto good ideas by accident. Please don't go to the queue. Please just stay on the playlist.
Another miss? I think you need your eyes tested, Dad.
At Vision Express, we've developed our most advanced eye test yet. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT scan that can help pick up eye and health conditions, including glaucoma and diabetes. Book your advanced eye test today. Vision Express. Express your vision. T&Cs apply. Upgrade your free PureSI medical card eye test for a nominal fee.
Oh my god, are we really doing this again? Come on. Like, I've tried wiping the queue and it just will not do it. Like, yeah, this music is cool, but it's just not what I want to listen to. Oh, this is the queue. Okay. How do I wipe the whole thing? It says in the queue view there's like a clear queue thing, and there isn't. So I just need to do it one by one, I guess. That's kind of cringe, given that there's no option. Let me do a BRB, don't worry. Alright, I think it's fixed. Or I hope it is. So the first album I ever owned, I couldn't find on Spotify. I don't think it's on Spotify. But basically it had that Jungle Book track on it. And a bunch of, you know, classical music. I won it on like a radio competition where we won like a CD player that we still have to this day. Somehow it still works, even though it's an utter shit. But the first album that I gifted to me, is an Elvis CD with like 31 number ones he had, and the last one was a remix of A Little Less Conversation. You're listening to Talkin' Tunes. Rip. Let me know if you need to pull over, or sorry, let me know if you want me to pull over so you can go to the bathroom or get some snacks at the gas station. My favorite Star Wars movie? Christmas Special. What's your favorite? Come on, baby, I'm tired of talking. Grab your coat, let's start walking. And I would play this CD religiously because it's this and that classical CD with the Jungle Book were the only two CDs I had. Definitely got to be Christmas special. Yeah. I was having this exact discussion last night with my friends. I mean, you can argue that this remix doesn't really do the original version of the song justice, but I didn't know about remix stuff at the time. What a gorgeous day for a drive. It's like one of the first missions in GTA 5 where you have to like get the boat back. You're listening to Talkin' Tunes. So this song was one of my parents' favorite songs. They would have an Ava Cassidy tape in the car. So like one of the only kind of tapes we had that wasn't like Western themed. We used the instrumental on this track for one of the retools, I believe. I was trying to get into a project for a long time. Sounds like a little homage, I suppose. Wish you could respray those RVs.
Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who's that yonder dressed in white? Wade in the water. Must be the children of the Israelite. Oh, God's gonna trouble the water.
It's nice to have the more. Someone just bump into me. It's red. Dude, it's literally red. That person who just rear-ended me was probably the safest driver in Los Angeles. So that's the one thing I don't like about GTA 5 is that it's not realistic. The people in this game drive way too safe. It's not like LA at all.
Who's that yonder dressed in blue? Wade in the water.
You can kind of listen to this track at any time, I think. Rain or shine. Yeah, night or day. Let's go up into the mountains. Let's I didn't really care for this track when I was young, but as I got older, I think I developed an appreciation for it, you know? God, this driver, I swear to God. Piss or get off the pot, as they say. Oh, I love how the advertisement takes up the screen on the radio as well. These people owe me a fortune.
Friends at Link's Fine Fragrance. Smell finer than the finest fragrances.
I mean, do I need to say more? I know this song came out in the 90s or something, but I just remember listening to this in the summer of 2005 and 2006, you know? Not having a care in the world as a dumb kid. Jesus. You're listening to Talkin' Tunes. I swear to God, I will run down a bitch. I'ma run down a bitch. And thing is, I never cared for Daft Punk. In fact, for the longest time, I didn't even know this song was Daft Punk, because I never paid attention to any of that kind of stuff. Oh, those deers are gonna get killed. Not by me though, I wouldn't kill an animal. I think they made it onto the ranch. I know the song's Daft Punk. Well, the song actually isn't Daft Punk. The song is One More Time. The artist is Daft Punk. But what I'm saying is I didn't know it was Daft Punk for years. But I saw a breakdown recently of all the songs they remixed for this track, which is really interesting because for an electro duo act, you know, they pull influences from a lot of, oh, I don't know how you describe it, more analog centric, like funk and stuff. A lot of what Daft Punk does probably shouldn't work, but it does. And I'm glad for Random Access Memories, they kind of went back to the roots a bit more. But I only started to get into Daft Punk after they kind of announced their retirement, which was a really silly thing to do, because now I'm never going to get to see them live, you know? Unless they do some kind of elderly robots tour, like a reunion or something. But I know that Tomas and Guy Manuel are still doing stuff here and there, you know? I feel like the order on the playlist is messed up a bit because I felt like we were going to get to Green Day before this. Daft Punk are really, some of the best, I don't know, best musical duo out there, I think, bar none. Daft Punk are one of those acts where you could listen to them and just have a greater appreciation for just music as a medium. I'm picking the songs for this one. What I would like to do for like future streams is to have viewers pick the songs and I don't know, like react to them or like dissect them a little bit, because I want to hear new music. I don't really want to just listen to the shit that I listen to all day. Since this is the first stream, I'm just gonna like, I guess, give people the gauge for my music tastes are at, or how they developed, I guess. Because before I start developing my own tastes, I would listen to the radio, and all the local radio stations here would just play like, you know, chart stuff. We didn't really have too many genre-specific radio stations, so this song would play a few times a day, you know. Because it's a very safe track to play, you know. It's good to have you, though. Okay. What's her name? Sorry, I'm just trying to be a good Samaritan. So, American Idiot is the first album I ever bought. I remember... Yeah. I still have my physical copy of American Idiot too, and that was also when I learned that a lot of CD covers had in the leaves or whatever would have the lyrics in there, and when I discovered that, I felt like I discovered a whole new world, you know. Obviously, that period is gone now. It's very rare that you'll have people printing out their lyrics in physical albums anymore. Not many people even buy physical albums these days, you know. And for the longest time, I didn't understand this song because, you know, this came out when I was 11 or 12, so I didn't have a girlfriend at that stage. And it's about getting over someone, you know. And now, you know, being considerably older, I can kind of identify with it a little bit more, I guess. And the fact that it's not about any one person's name, you know. It's vague enough to be really relatable. And it's not too melancholic. It still holds on to a lot of like angsty punk vibes, you know. Yeah. I was going to play Jesus of Suburbia instead of this, but I felt it was a little bit long, because this playlist is long enough as it is. But it's hard to not get choked hearing this song now, just because of the context it was also written in for the album. I don't know if you've seen was the documentary on this album called Jesus of Suburbia? I watched it a few years ago, and I realized that I know that they had lost most of the demos for this album. They were stolen or something, but I remember that I have to turn this down. I think it's over. But I remember seeing this documentary, and that the track listing in the actual American Idiot album is the order they were, if not written, recorded in. So that kind of subtle kind of outro that what's her name has is like, you know, that was the vibes that they had when they were finishing the album. And you can see Billy Joe Armstrong getting really emotional as they wrap up the recording. I think Mike Dirnt is flipping out because he can't get the timing right. But I think Billy Joe realized how important of an album they were making, and he realized it was the last time the album would really be theirs, because after it's been produced and released, it kind of belongs to the fans, you know? And just the way it kind of, it's not a noisy ending, it just slowly takes you out, you know? And that kind of brings me back to being a youngin', you know? When you were more young and carefree. You gotta take a deep breath when What's Her Name ends, you know? A lot of emotional weight to that film. I have to drive a little bit safer. American Idiot was probably their best album overall in quality. I definitely agree. Oh god, this is gonna make me miserable. Um, I think my second favorite then is probably Nimrod. My third favorite, maybe Dookie. Dookie, or I think one of Uno, Dos, or Tre. But I'm also a big fan of Foxborough Hot Tubs as well. And I was mad at them for a while because I was annoyed that they had started that side project without telling anybody. But then I realized sometimes, as an established musician, you want to do that. You want to just go off and do your own thing and see, you know, how the masses respond to it without knowing it's you. This track is kind of, you know, takes me back to being a youngin', listening to it on the radio. I would just build mocks for hours after school, you know. I never did homework, because why the fuck would you do homework? Dookie is a mixed bag, yeah, I don't know. I have to be honest, I haven't listened to too much of their discography. I've only listened to a few things from when they were Sunshine. Was it their first act was Sunshine Children or something? Alright, Sloppy, take it easy. I'm going to do the same lap, but in reverse, I think. I'm going to do a nighttime drive. I think is major the positive one, and then a minor is the sad chord or whatever. But it's a lot of sad chords in this song. And it just brings me right back to being a kid, you know. Green Day is great, you know. Probably the first band I ever really got into. To this day, I know all the lyrics to all the songs on American Idiot, you know. An unpopular opinion. Sure. I mean, I can't really relate to what Green Day is doing now. Was was Kid Derelict more like a Eugene or a Tyler? I didn't abuse any animals, I'll tell you that much. And I didn't smoke. So I don't know. Maybe I was more of an Adam. I was just an annoying piece of shit that people had to put up with. It's probably the... Except I didn't piss and shit myself playing the Xbox. I mean, we're still in terms of the playlist, we're still at around 12 years of age. When I was just outside of Green Day, my music taste was based on whatever was on the radio, you know. I know. Yeah, season 8 was pretty bad. I wasn't a fan myself. I felt like because Adam was a good villain in season 6, but I think John just took all those good ideas and just threw them into a blender and walked away. I'm not talking about like the religious undertones. It's valid because it has to be valid, but well, you're listening to Talkin' Tunes. If you could tolerate season more if you didn't drag out every scene to being 4 times as long as it needed to be. Valid point. I don't disagree. So, I remember one of my first girlfriends buying me this for my birthday. And keep in mind, my taste in music was almost exclusively Green Day at the time. So I hadn't listened to too much Nirvana. I'll turn up a little bit for you. Yeah, you need a film degree to appreciate season 8. Sorry about that, guys. That's probably why you don't like it as much. It's because I have my film school director's cap on the dash here. Of the choo-choo scenes, listen. Under legal counsel, I'm not allowed to talk about the choo-choo scenes anymore. I mean, it was interesting to see this song being used for the Batman. Maybe we'll fly a plane. After we do this reverse lap, we'll go flying. Because I've always wanted to do that. And I believe this was the last song on Nevermind. And there was one time, like the CD player that I won in that competition I mentioned earlier, I was playing it in my bedroom while like making Lego mocks and stuff, and I got to, oh hey Cam, how you keeping? And I forgot to stop the CD after it played, so something in the way kept playing, and I didn't realize that they had hidden in another track after it called Endless Nameless. So after 2 or 3 minutes, I heard the dun 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 dun. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was dissociating or something, you know. And I thought that I was the only person who had ever discovered it. Is someone shooting at me? I'm trying to have a peaceful Sunday drive. Mother of God. Oh. Hey, joke's on them, I'm still alive. Oh my God, really? This is what happens when you're just minding your own business. Are they gone? They're still up there. Sorry, I'll get to the questions when I'm done with this character. I actually thought that was Trevor for a second. Where are they? Oh Jesus, there's like fucking 3 of them. Okay. We'll do it retro. We'll do it retro. We'll do it retro. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the chat while doing this. Is there any musician that can do no wrong in mind? Like, you've always, everything they put out more or less? No. But I didn't always feel this way either. For a while I used to placate a lot of musicians and think that
this weekend.
this musician that like I'd always have a favorite musician. I don't anymore, and that's because I wanted to hold up I don't know, everybody to the same standard, you know. Yeah, I said hi, Cam. You ended up watching the anti-walrus of Inside Oneself and felt you echoed my sentiments on the true shit for the most part. Look, it's just Flick is the master of the show. He knows what direction the show needs to take. I'm not going to berate him on it too much, but I would say that I think we spent a lot of time glazing oneself and acting like, kind of like what Jazz was just saying about the show being, we were acting like Flick could do no wrong because oneself was all, oh yeah, sorry. So I was also, a friend of mine, actually I gotta pause this because there's a story with this song. So if you can give me just a moment, I'll answer what you were saying there real quick. Okay, so in regards to like oneself, I think the show became so predictable up to about episode 10 that we were kind of praising Flick to high heaven about everything he was writing for the show and not kind of being objective about if things were working or not. And episode 12 was like, this happens with everything, you know. If you have someone who keeps making great movies or great music or whatever, eventually there comes to a point where it's not that they fall off, but they push too far in a direction and then they find where the line is. And some musicians will do that. They'll go so far into a direction, hit that kind of line, and then come back from it, and they'll probably, you know, make good stuff again. But then some artists will just keep pushing past that line and not be receptive to feedback, and as a result of that, you know, they might fall off, you know. I think that's what happened with episode 12 of Oneself, and we know it because Flick decided that he patched that episode, and it wasn't like there was a mistake. It's just like he just realized, well, maybe he buckled to the criticism, but he took that, he trimmed the fat out of that episode, you know. The calmest American road trip, yeah. Are you remembering wrong, or have you yourself been the lead singer of a heavy metal band at one point? I feel like you used to flex that on some years ago. Well, I didn't flex it, but yeah, I did play heavy metal for a while, and we haven't even gotten to that stage in the playlist yet. Chew is better in episode 15 than 11 or 14 because his lines will become 1 minute long each. Yeah, and funny enough, is like that was all done in GTA 5, so we're kind of coming full circle here, unintentionally. But yeah, so I didn't get an Xbox until 2012, after like one of my first jobs, which was working in like a Halloween scare house. But before that, like all the times I play Halo or whatever was at my cousin's house or my friend's house, and my friend dad got him an Xbox in 2007, like when Halo 3 came out, and I believe Infinity on High from Fall Out Boy had come out around the same time, I believe. Your older sister liked it. Thanks for the memories a bunch when she was wrong. Yeah. There's like, I don't necessarily like Fall Out Boy that much. Oh hey Nick, it's good to see you. I hope you're keeping well, my man. I have to chat to you later about something I'm working on. Damn. But yeah, and for those who don't remember, the Xbox 360 had this cool function where you could like plug in a music device like an iPod, and you would be able to play songs from it pretty seamlessly with the gameplay. You know, it would mix the track in over with the sound effects and stuff. It would take out the game's music, but it would keep in the sound effects and stuff, and that was a really cool thing. So what we would do is I would go to my friend's house and we would we'd play Halo for hours, like campaign, split screen, whatever. We never played online because he didn't have like online setup or whatever. But or we would forge for hours playing like Infinity on High, or we'd play Green Day or Avenged Sevenfold, specifically the White Album, which I think is later on in this playlist. And I don't know, those are just good memories, you know, playing late into the summer with those. So you listen to Talkin Tunes, and this is Thriller by Fall Out Boy. Yeah, I don't remember what version of the 360 he had, because when I bought mine, it was a slimmed down version, so the one that wasn't prone to getting red rings. Like, to this day, that Xbox 360 works near perfectly, I would say. But I think going from American Idiot to Infinity on High was me starting to develop a taste for slightly heavier music. There was nobody there to kind of introduce me to rap or hip hop, so it was hard for me to get a taste for it, you know. There was nobody I knew who listened to it or made it, so I had no cultural reference for it, you know. I don't know. Is CJ's house in GTA 5? I'm guessing not. I think we're around that neck of the woods right now. This is meant to be like Compton or Hawthorne or something. I know they don't use the actual location names, but like my 360 never made those kind of noises, you know. Actually, I think my PC makes those noises more than anything else. That's usually because I'm putting a render through it, you know. So there's the train. That'd be a fun thing to... Actually, no, that wouldn't be fun, because I just wouldn't move, I'd just sit there. All groceries in GTA 5, you've cleared an mission with Lamar. Oh, that would make sense. That would only make sense. FOB. Let's go. Okay. So, soon after me and the friend who would play Halo on the Xbox and stuff, the one that I would listen to Fall Out Boy with, he introduced me to Avenged Sevenfold, right as the White Album came out. And I don't know if you've noticed by now, but I'm playing a lot of the last tracks from songs because they're usually the most bittersweet. If you haven't listened to Avenged Sevenfold, this is a somewhat heavy album, but this is the most easygoing song on the album, but I think it's fitting for the stream, you know. But this was the album that got me into heavy metal, I would say. Maybe a little bit of Infinity on High as well, you know. Also, that water is way too clean to be, you know, from this city. Considering, look at all the rubbish. This song would have been really good if I was still driving. This is about living on the road, I think. Your first attempt at machinima was almost all Fall Out Boy music. Now, Celtic, the question I have for you is, do you still have any of that material? Because I said it's a flick for the longest time, but if you have any of your old machinima stuff, you should be putting that online. Especially since, you know, you're talking about regularly grinding out content. All my old embarrassing shit is online, you know. Like American the Magnamon. Actually, I think that series was made around this time. Like this playlist that we're listening to now is kind of like a chronological thing of my history with music. So this was probably, I was listening to this around the time that I was making those videos. I was talking to someone about this recently in terms of like the chewies and stuff. Oh no, we were talking about it on Inside Oneself, and I don't think the director's commentary for Curtain Call has released yet, but that script was originally about me talking about like my origins with making content and stuff, and there's a lot of what this stream is now discussing that. Like I haven't shared all of the stuff I made as a kid. I will at some stage. I just want to find the right kind of avenue to do it, and I don't think it's this stream, and it definitely wasn't in Inside Oneself. It was making, you know, we talk about all the choo-choo stuff in Oneself going on for a bit long. The original script for Curtain Call was, I think, 36 pages or something, and it was just me yapping about myself and the stuff I made as a kid, and it wouldn't be interesting to anybody other than me. I'll find some way to get it out, but we'll see. We're going to make a slightly different push at content, I think, in the next 12 to 14 months. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the road. Oh, hang on, this is where I want to be. I'm trying to show Michael the least amount as I can. Trying to get a hold of the plane. There seems to be an opening here. Oh, for the love of God, fine. Again, this song really takes me back to being no longer a kid, you know, reaching adulthood, being a teenager. But I think maybe the pineapple the pineapple autobiography, $6.99. Do you think so little of me that I could only charge for $6.99? God damn. But I think at this time I started to like think about what people were saying in songs, you know. Mother of God. Yeah. I'm not gonna fly a helicopter because helicopters just aren't as cool. What is the history of the pineapple? I don't know. I think it just looked cool. It's kind of a disappointing answer, but it just looked interesting to me, I guess.
Another miss? I think you need your eyes tested, Dad.
At Vision Express, we've developed our most advanced eye test yet. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT
I mean,
scan that
I've
can
kind of
help
leaned
pick
into
up eye and health conditions,
the
including
pineapple a bit
glaucoma
more
and diabetes.
in the last,
Book
I don't
your
know,
advanced eye
couple
test
of years,
today.
but I think
Vision
it's
Express.
gives you
Express
some
your
kind of
vision.
identity
TNC's
or
apply.
branding, you
Upgrade
know.
your free Pure SI medical card eye test for a
I don't know if I
nominal
should have
fee.
made it a Spartan, but okay. So after I kind of got introduced to Avenged Sevenfold, I started listening to bands adjacent to them, like Bullet for My Valentine. And this is, I was going to say this is the most chilled out song on Scream Empire, but it's not. That would be Hearts Burst Into Fire, I guess. But you should go to Vision Express. So I remember listening to a few songs off Scream Empire, like Waking the Demon, Hearts Burst Into Fire, and Scream Empire. And I went down to the nearest record store and I bought this album. And it just, I remember 2008 being insanely rainy, and just listening to the song while watching the rain out the window. It's kind of, it's not depressing, it's just a little bit melancholic. I think the pineapple is cool, but it's also perception, right? Like there's different ways of depicting it. And I don't want to be, I used to be a stickler for how people would draw it, but now I realize it's a cooler, not symbol, but it's a cooler image to leave open to interpretation. So at this stage I would have started going to regular heavy metal gigs and stuff in my hometown. But at this stage I hadn't gone to see any kind of big concerts. I don't know if there's a Metallica song on this playlist. I don't think there is, because I'm not a huge Metallica guy, but I went to see them in 2009 in Dublin for no reason other than the fact that Avenged Sevenfold were one of the opening acts, which was right before their drummer, the Rev, died. I quietly whispered, "No one understands me," but no one heard it, so I said it a little louder, and I kept saying it louder until somebody said, "Keep it down." It's rain music for sure. I was going to put Eye of the Storm on, which was the track after this, I think, but I think it was a little bit on the nose. But this came out in 2008, which I think is the same year that Umbrella by Rihanna came out, and it was a hit, if anybody remembers. But every time, it was raining so much that year that I think, keep in mind, it rains all the time in Ireland, but still, people thought the song was cursed, so they would tell radio stations not to play it. So after a while, they just banned radio stations from playing it. Not all radio stations, but the regional ones anyway. Okay, we're in taxi, everybody. This is Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo. Oh no, we have to get to the thing. We have to do this by the book, yeah? I don't want to hear anything about crashing this into a skyscraper, okay? We're clear on runway 1. Origin story before GTA 6, yeah. What do we think about that delay? I don't care either way, you know. Putting that landing gear. If you want to imagine what I look like during this period of my life, you know, given the music taste, just put a giant emo fringe over the pineapple. Meow, meow, meow. I think one of the lessons I'm learning for this stream is to put a playlist on VLC and not on Spotify, because there'll be no ads and we won't be caught off guard by the queue. I don't like songs that gradually fade out. I like it when they just end with a period, you know? Because now you get like 30 seconds of blank at the end of the track. Oh yeah, so I mentioned earlier that I had won a competition that had, you know, got me that CD player when I was a kid. I won a second competition on TV that got me this. It gave me like a 2 album pack. One of them was the Ministry of Sound, which I never opened to this day, and then the other one was Last Day of Magic by The Kills. And this, I'd already been listening to, you know, heavy metal for a year or two at a stage. I think this was 2009 or something. So I decided to listen to more indie music, you know. These are like an indie rock band called The Kills. I like how I have a car dash for the stream while I'm in a plane. Because like I was in a bit of a heavy metal phase, I guess you could say, where I had no interest in anything that wasn't like screamo, metal or whatever, you know, like everything else was inferior. And when I listened to this, I started to get more open-minded, you know. Any bets on whether or not I'm gonna land this? I'll stick to landing. Like a glove. Even though this is like indie rock, it still has kind of some heavy moments in it, I feel.
So, which one of you is next?
On May 14,
You found some way to stop death and survive.
the iconic horror franchise returns,
To break the cycle, there are
Oh,
only
this is the
two
Final
ways.
Destination, that is
taking
it.
audiences back
I've never
to
really
the
been into those
beginning.
By
films.
killing, you get the time that person had left.
Experience it on the big screen.
Or you have to die.
What? No. Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, that's a stunt plane, isn't it?
Book tickets now. Rated 16.
Good luck.
Oh no, we're going into like the hardcore emo phase now. Don't judge me too harshly. At least I found one of the least cringe songs of this artist. I don't like Black Veil Brides at all now, but Oh, I was addicted to these guys. I would love if the train went by right now. I want that RV. You're joking me. What are the odds? Well, let's hitch a ride, I guess. Back to the city. I hope I don't get killed trying to hop on.
Patient of eternity, my crush. A universal still, no rust.
Let's make this more kind of.
No dust will ever grow on this frame. A million years, and I will say your name. I love you more than
I'm tempted to do a stream like this on Red Dead 2, but I don't know if it would make as much sense.
Booked our flight those years ago. I said I loved you as I left you. Regrets still haunt my hollow head, but I promise to you that I will see you again. I sit here and smile.
I don't know if you've seen in the other streams I do, like the normal reaction streams to like Morgan and stuff, but there's a shot of like a pelican with a sunset coming in, spilling in the back door or hatch, and I wanted to do a Microsoft Flight Simulator stream, but obviously because I don't have current gen, I have to play Cloud on the Xbox One, and it's so laggy and patchy, it's almost not worth it. And it won't load on my PC, so I figured I'd just get some cool footage of it and leave it at that, you know.
We booked our flight those years ago. You said you loved me as you left me. Regrets still haunt your sad.
If I see an RV, I can grab it though, because I realize we're not even halfway into the city.
We booked our flight those years ago. I said I loved you as I left you. Regrets no longer.
Oh, I just realized what those aliens were doing.
But I promise to you, and now I'm home again. Again. I'm home again.
Oh no, is this gonna mess with? Am I too tall? No, I'm fine, I'm fine. I was afraid this was gonna knock me on the head. Well, that was The Mortician's Daughter by Blackville Brides. Have a good idea what's coming next? Yeah, Blessed with a Curse by Bring Me. A band that I've been like conditioned to hate for no reason other than just to do it. And I think I just stumbled on this album on my own because I had listened to their previous stuff. Like I think the first time I checked them out, I looked up. I think it was a remix of one of the Suicide Season songs from their Cut Up EP, and I hated it. But also, I still didn't really understand what remixes were. I listened to, I think It Never Ends on my own, like right after this album came out, and I was fairly hooked. I also went to see Avenged Sevenfold on their own when they played in Dublin 2011 on the Nightmare Tour. And I was very lucky to have seen them play in Dublin right before the Rev died in 2009, I think. 'Cause he died in 2010, I think. But This is one of my favorite albums to this day. I think metalcore is kind of a toilet of a genre. There's not a lot of interesting ideas and things going on there, but at least for this album, they put a lot of different ideas in there, and credit to them, because Suicide Season was a lot of technical elements that they didn't have in their previous record, Counter Blessings. So for them to pull back the electronic thing a little bit, and have something that has kind of like it's a lot of electrical productions in this. Like, this was the first record that Skrillex worked on under the moniker Skrillex after he had done From First to Last, which was his metalcore band. I'm sure there's an R&B in this town. Mr. White. Blessed with a Curse is a good song. And I was lucky enough to see Bring Me twice on this album cycle. They came to Dublin in 2000 and... Oh god, that's gonna knock me off. But yeah, I saw them. So we played Boulevard Valentine earlier on, and I went to see them in Glasgow with a friend, headlining, I think. And I think Treyu and Bring Me were opening. And this is 2010, like right after this album had come out, There Was a Hell, and it was still when they were almost unanimously hated in the metal community. So I'll never forget seeing them play Blessed with a Curse live in Glasgow, and then being bottled for like the entire set. And the year after that, they came to Dublin. They played a small club called the Academy, and it was like, yeah, they did all right. Like, they were headlining, so it was unlikely that there were people there that were going to bottle them. All the supporting acts were more or less people that aren't around anymore, like bands that aren't around anymore. I'm sure there's some of that. But it's funny because they never came back to Dublin. I think they had a good time, but they just never toured another album in Dublin until January of 24, I think. So you think about them playing a tiny club like the Academy, and then never coming back to Dublin until 2024, where they're selling out I think it's a 3 Arena it's called, which is one of our bigger music venues in the capital. It's just crazy to think about, considering like the first time I saw Bring Me live is when people were still hating on them because it was cool to hate on them. And It Never Ends and this song were the singles that kind of bought me into them. What does it mean that Derelict has an almost naked figure of me in his car? Well, I think it's interesting why you would let that naked figure be your avatar flick. I wasn't basing it on it being half naked flick, I was basing it on the fact that it's your avatar. I mean, don't get me wrong, this song is insanely melodramatic, and whenever it was performed live, like, Ollie would make it way more theatrical than it would need to be, but I think Fredrik Nordstrom, who's the producer on this record, he was the producer on Suicide Season as well. Sonically, I feel like he gave this song exactly what it needed. It's a PS1 and 5 version, yeah, let's go with that. But at this point I had started to, like, you know, practice, you know, heavy metal and stuff, and wanted to, like, play it in a band, you know. This might feel like a kind of a little left turn, but when I was playing music, like heavy metal for a while, one of my band members, I think he went to see, I think it was Alice Cooper or something. He went to see Alice Cooper in London, and he brought this back for me as a gift because I was a big fan of The Monster and the Fame Monster by Lady Gaga, and to this day I think Born This Way is my favourite record from Gaga. No, sorry, I did not saying Oneself was predictable, I'm saying it was unpredictable. Oneself was unpredictable up to episode 10, and I think as a result of that we were just glazing everything he was doing for the show. And you're not a cocky guy, Flipper. You're not like arrogant, but I think it would be understandable why you would get the impression that all decisions you would make on the show would be considered infallible, because nobody knew what to expect. Like I might have misspoke, but I didn't mean that oneself was predictable. It was completely unpredictable. You could say that oneself was predictable in its unpredictability, but what I'm telling you is that nobody knew what to expect. And I think that's why people invested in the show, or at least it's why I invested personally. Because when you would give out lines, you would never tell people the context of the scene. And as a result of that, I was excited to see how the lines I was putting a bit of use, you know. But yeah, Lady Gaga put out Hard Pop after this, and it's an album that I didn't love. There's a handful of good tracks in it, but it's not her strongest output, let's say, in my opinion. I know where to find an RV. There's a gas station just further up the road. But this, I like this track. It has a little bit of a hard rock ballad vibe to it. Also, Bloody Mary is completely overplayed. Like, it's later on this record and it's fine, but holy crap, it's one of the weaker tracks on this album. And this album has a lot of really strong entries. Entries, huh? Said Flick. I was about to think that was a RB, but it was just like the El Jefe band. So at this point, we're coming up on, I guess, 20 years of age, maybe? I think that was 20 when this record came out. I mean, the drums in this song are awesome. The synth and stuff, it's anthemic, I don't know, it's dramatic. You know, you can easily turn this record into a musical if you wanted. I think they did that with American Idiot, actually. One Self could have been a musical, but I don't know. You need a lot of like composition and stuff. I know there has been musical segments in One Self, but I mean like entirely, like start to finish. But then again, maybe if you just, did what jazz does and just like rewrite songs and stuff. Lady Gaga, Highway Unicorn. Oh, we're in 2013 now. So this is Daughter, Winter. This is like when I was listening to a little more like depressive indie. This is, interesting enough, not the final track. This is the first track on their album. And I played Blessed with a Curse by Bring Me, which was their second last record on There Is a Hell. I could have very easily played one of their intro tracks, because I feel like their intro tracks on 90% of their records are the best song on the entire album. But I don't think it would have fit the vibe check of the stream. I remember seeing Hermes a lot. Plenty of times. This track also reminds me of Breakup, which is pretty cringe, but music does that to you, it brings you back to a time and place. If you're wondering who I broke up with, it was your mom. It's not always a bad thing, no. But the problem is that what I'm saying is that, oh, there's a train again. The concern that I had with One Self is that people were glazing every episode of One Self and not pointing out problems. horse that much to the point where episode 12 has had far too much fat in it. Like you probably should have trimmed the fat in that episode, and you did. But I think it's important to realise why that fat was there to begin with. Because I'm definitely guilty of glazing you too much. But we don't have that relationship anymore. Or will I get a boat? Maybe I'll get a boat. I need to turn up my mic. How about I just move it closer to my mouth? That's probably the best I could do. Or I'll turn down the music at least. Just because this music can be a little bit quiet. Every time I've ever heard the song, it's been too low in the mix. So hopefully that's a little bit better. We'll get an RV and we'll drive down to the docks then. So that's the only mode of transport that we haven't had yet. So I'll turn the music down. I want you to be able to listen to the music as well, though.
Me to degrade before you go kill and pray for waste of daylight speaks what slumbers keep under the bed out of revenge and while you stay in our sheets with some piece of me, with some piece of me. A winter comes, a winter crushed all of the things that I once loved. Winter comes, winter crushed.
We're talking tunes.
Other things that I once had.
I've listened to that track in a long time. Daughter, Winter, from If You Leave in 2013.
So, which one of you is next?
On May 14,
You found some way to stop death and survive.
the iconic horror franchise returns,
To break the cycle, there are only two ways.
taking audiences back to the beginning.
By killing, you get the time that person had left.
Experience it on a big screen.
Isn't that Death Note?
Or you have to die.
What? No. Final Destination Bloodlines in cinemas May 14. Book tickets now. Rated 16.
Good luck.
Oh. Purity Ring. Let me know if you can hear the music. Alright. So this is when I started getting to really kind of different sounding stuff. So I'll tell you about this track. So after my first kind of band or whatever kind of fell apart, I tried to get another band going. One of the members of that band introduced me to Purity Ring, and I was in love with it the moment I heard them, because I'd never heard anything like this before, you know. I was certain that I'd seen RV parked here before. I know there's one place that'll definitely have an RV. It's the town that Trevor is from, or the town that he's in. Sorry. That was I had a moment of weakness. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't offend any of the animal rights activists here. Why am I driving off-road? Isn't there a helicopter here? I felt like there was supposed to be a helicopter here. Shortly, I don't see it. I thought you could just go up here and press, right analog and it would be there. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Well, can I just stand here and it'll leave? Oh, wow. This is one of my favorite Irish bands. They're no longer together, but I remember getting into them in like 2014, maybe. Jesus. Why can't I punch? I wonder if he's on the car with me. That'd be awesome. Oh, he's not.
But no sound did come out, I could only believe. I waited for him till the frost did come. My skin it turned blue and my body was numb. But my heart it burned out till it wasn't no more. Still I wait on the ground, I don't know what for.
I think I got to see him twice live. They're so... I don't know if you like how it sounds here, but if you think this is good, if you hear him live, it's so much better live. Not to say this isn't good, I love this as well, obviously, with the studio recordings. Turn it down a little bit so you can hear myself. Like, one of the things I want to do with the stream is not only hear what music is important to you, but hopefully introduce you to some new music as well, you know? Actually, funny enough, that where we are in the chronological thing is around the time I actually made this channel, I think, in 2014. It's an interesting tidbit. Nah. Oh, the guy's gone. Okay. Was there supposed to be... Oh yeah, it is here. This secret of the mountain thing for Mount Chiliad. I don't know if people ever solved that. There's supposed to be a bike here. Oh, there is. It's electric. Good. I don't want a cycle bike at all. That'll make this go a whole lot faster. There's parachutes as well, aren't there? Because I need a parachute if I'm gonna jump. Oh no. Okay. That's filthy. I don't want it to be a GTA stream. I actually want to fly around or drive around, you know? Give it an actual vibe. Like the frame shows. Oh no. I just realized there was a cliff. I did meet this band once though, and they were very nice to talk to. Will I ever make a GTA Machinima? This is probably the closest that I'll ever get. I don't know if I'd be able to make a good one. Oh wow, Childish Gambino. So this is when I first started listening to hip hop and rap, and I stumbled upon this track on my own. I think. I was gonna say, are you gonna make a GTA Machinima? But I'm guessing you probably won't, because you've already technically done it in oneself. Did I do one for Retold? I feel like I did do something GTA for Retold. I would want to do something in GTA. I would like to do Machinima in every game that supports making that kind of stuff, you know? But you said it the other day, I think, regarding episode 15, like, GTA is really frustrating to work with when it comes to Machinima. To get the proper results, you have to put up with a lot of tedious nonsense in the UI and stuff, and when John makes the case for staying on 360, he never uses the good arguments, and the good arguments are the UI is just more intuitive. Other than that, there's really no good reasons to stay on 360 for the Halo games, honestly. I do plan to make Machinima on other games that are not Halo. The time you spent on those 8 minutes of episode 15 were roughly the same as the 50-minute Halo scenes. I don't know if you said that on stream, but I remember you saying that to me a few days ago. Why is there just a boar going around this town? Jesus Christ. The problem is when you're going from a game like Halo to another game to do Machinima, you have to familiarize yourself with a new UI, game engine, and a way of capturing footage. Like I did the 2 Fortnite things. Yeah, Rockstar, I don't think they want to make it harder, but they have a process that's unique to them. And it's hard to be mad at them, because people do pull, like, was it Gabriel Films that we had for Machinophobic? He's made some fantastic stuff. If you asked him to make a Halo Machinima tomorrow, he'd probably tell you to go away, just because of how frustrating he would find it. And the Halo system is good, but it's not going to suit what he wants to do or what he's used to doing, you know? The best way to put it is it's just to each their own. Well, I'm glad you bring up like the backup laptop thing, because that's something I really want regarding the next Halo machinima that I do, because I want to use mods, and I don't want to roll the dice on body actors. And you know yourself, wife, like, body actors are a gamble, no matter what way you spin it. But yeah, that was Childish Gambino. So this is my kind of entry into hip hop and rap, you know, and I've never really stopped listening to it since. Oh, I'm God by Clams Casino. So around 10 years ago I went to America for the first time, and this was the track that I would play, you know, while I was over there. So that the memory of going to America for the first time is kind of locked into this track for me. Yeah, even Cam knows. Use your Steam Deck for those Sonya and Chef scenes, places, mod maps. Really good call. Really, really good call. I don't want to get a Steam Deck, but it's a really good use for it. Like, I think if I got a Steam Deck, I'd be the only person in the world who would get a Steam Deck for the purposes of machinima, you know? Because I'm the last person who would ever use a Steam Deck, you know? When I get back to making that guide to machinima, I'm going to talk a lot about body acting and give a lot of the brass tacks on it. Because there's a lot of machinima servers that are just not clear on the restrictions that body acting involves and how many years on your life you get back by just doing it all yourself. It costs you. It costs you money, but it saves you time. And time is a currency. I don't know if it was Celtic, but somebody was asking me, like, how do I like turn over so much content when I do? And it's like, I'm mindful of my time. I don't give time to projects that aren't going to get me anywhere, you know? Well, not get me anywhere, but stuff that I can't really, I don't know, take inventory on and see, okay, am I getting better? Is this getting me views, you know? I get a cheap used laptop. Halo being so old means you could probably get it to run almost anything. I don't know. I was looking at some cheap laptops and I'm thinking, what would be the minimum RAM requirement? What would be the minimum, like what kind of cores would it need or something for MCC on Steam? Because I don't mind like paying for MCC again. I really don't. Every other week it's on sale, you know. There should be an RV around here though. But this music reminds me of just, you know, traveling around Pennsylvania, New York, Philadelphia. Is there seriously not a single RV around here? Or there's a boat. Maybe the RV will be on another stream. Like seriously, yeah. I don't mind like paying. You pay £2 for Halo Reach. I'd pay 5 or 6. I don't care how much, but I just need a PC that I can rely on. I have enough wired controllers so I can at least do decent body acting there, you know, with the alert carry. I think the ocean's out this way. Yeah. You see, I had a laptop back in 2019, around the time OneSelf started, and I never got Steam on it. I played Minecraft on it quite a bit, but that laptop died. I think it got a virus or some shit. I need a laptop regardless for work, but I'm probably inclined to get a Mac just for editing and stuff. I would love to get a workhorse like my desktop. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. A friend of mine was showing me like a laptop they were planning on getting, and holy crap, it was like 5 grand, which I have no doubt would run MCC. Like, it was not, the specs on it were better than the desktop that I'm streaming off of now. Like, it's insane.
Always on the lookout for new tunes? Spotify Premium lets you explore a catalogue of millions of songs with high quality audio.
We'll just pretend
3 months now
that stream overlay with the hat and the radio and the little flick figure. This is a boat deck. This is no longer a car. Okay, so we're on to Pimp a Butterfly. So this is probably my favorite hip hop record of all time, and this is in 2015. So around the time I was in the States. If you haven't listened to this record, I'd highly recommend it. It's a great record. Talkin tunes. There's the RV! And there's no one in it. I don't know if I want the boat or the RV. Joe, what will do? Okay, I have a plan. I can get a boat almost anywhere. We're going to do a reverse lap on the RV. Is that her RV? I don't care. And then we're going to get a boat. We'll do a lap on the boat of all of Los Santos. And the first time I heard this record, I made everybody listen to it. This fits the vibe of the stream frame perfectly. Like, the question is, Cam, I want to spend not too much money on a laptop, but spending money just for machinima, for a laptop for machinima, is a bit silly, you know? I'm not going to spend 5 grand on a laptop. That's insane. Especially when you consider how easily a laptop will die on you. And I looked into renting a laptop, but you can't rent them for personal use, unfortunately. It's not easy. But at the same time, I think it's a bit of a silly complaint to make on my part, because I'm not doing machinima professionally, and at the same time, I don't know how much more Halo Machinima I would reasonably be making. I kind of, in the guide to machinima, I kind of walk this discussion up and down and discuss it rather than tell you do this, do that, because the guide to machinima isn't the law. You don't have to follow it, but I wanted people to at least have an advisory about how you can approach making this kind of art, this kind of content. Something I really like about this album is the narrative it weaves between each track, with like the talking segments. Hookies, that's where we started. Okay. So right now we're at 2015 in our timeline. Like these talking segments here. Whoops. Okay, I don't remember when La La Land came out, but a lot of people say, I don't like musicals. La La Land is cinema, you know? If you in any way consider yourself a music fan, you should be listening to this kind of stuff. Celtic Horn will know this because I've spoken to him about it, but I very, very badly want to do a Halo version of this song, like the music video for it, when it's on like the overpass over LA. And I have some of it written. I just, I can't sing. I would want to get actual singers in to work on it. Like this is called Another Day of Sun, and my one's called like Another Day of Guns, or Another Day with Guns or something. It's I wouldn't want it just to be a shit post or be funny, but I would want to have legitimately good singers in there, because it'd all be done in Blender, you know. And I was okay with musicals before this, you know. Like Mamma Mia was on last night. I was like, whatever. But Sweeney Todd was cool. But that's also because I was like an emo kid or whatever. Okay, I have to keep an eye on the road. I'm sorry. There's a lot of like kind of nice dynamic moments of the song that I think you could translate into a cool like animated kind of thing, like an animated sequence in Blender. I would want a mocap suit for some of the more specific things, just because I don't trust myself to hand animate stuff. Sweetie Todd is a good one. I'm trying to think of some other good musicals that are out there. I haven't seen An American Idiot yet. Did they say they were going to make that into a movie? I don't remember. See, I'm being a responsible driver. I don't know if you can hear the actual music. There we go. I'm trying to not have any repeats of any artists here, even if they make a crazy change in their musical style. I wanted it to all be kind of one-off things, you know. And one thing I was going to put on this playlist but didn't was the Orson Welles War of the Worlds. It's not technically a song, but it is like an audio thing. Okay, so we're up to 2016 now, for when I first went to Canada, I think. So I was listening to a lot of Vaporwave, Black Banshee, you know, synthwave kind of stuff. You could say that's because of John. I don't mind. There's nothing better than to go to a new place and hear new music, you know. I'm pretty sure Euphonious is going to come up after this, because I was listening to Black Banshee and Euphonious at the same time. And for those who don't know, Euphonious is like a YouTube channel that recommends kind of dark ambient music, which is... I have a soft spot for that kind of music. I saw a post on my Facebook group for GTA 6 that the night before GTA 6 come out, all the players on GTA 5 online will, like, you know, do one last drive around Los Santos together, and they've already locked in on what the route is going to be. And I'm so excited for that to devolve into chaos, where people just start shooting and running over each other. Because if you play GTA Online, it's no fun. It's just people griefing each other on quests or missions and stuff. On those rocket bikes or whatever. Yeah, fuck the red lights. Yeah, we're on Euphonious now. So this artist is closer by Nuages, but I think this song is the most popular channel on the Euphonious YouTube, where they just collect all these kind of dark ambient songs. Turn it up a little bit because it is a quiet song. Trying to get back on the highway, eastbound, northeast bound, you know. Jeez. Almost ran me off the road. You always have to watch the center of gravity on the campers, I guess. You got the speed on the accelerator, but you win this time, deer, or elk, or whatever. Stag. I don't know the difference. Oh, he's there again. I think over that hill is the highway, so I can find an entry back onto it here. Okay, I have to stop doing that. I'm gonna flip the whole thing if I keep doing that. Okay, cool. I thought I could only go into the building there, but there's gonna be a bridge coming up here, I think. Yeah. This will get me right back onto the highway. Could have taken a bus. So it was Hookies that we're driving to now. And then if there's any boats after that, we'll use that to do another lap. But I think we're on 2016 or 2017. I want to say 2017, like when I went back to Canada. Oh, thanks, Lynx.
Oh la la. The finest fragrance with lavender and a touch of mint combined with an amber scent. Parfait.
Oi, you're moving mad. It's Lynx Blue Lavender from the new Lynx Fine Fragrance Collection. Go get yours now and smell finer than the finest fragrances.
Okay, I think this is on the playlist. So it's interesting that we've come to Ghost. I think this is probably 2018. So we're coming up on when I started regularly making content for the channel. And Ghost were a band that I was always interested in what they were doing aesthetically, you know, with their costumes and stuff. And this is the Distant Cerise or something was the song that really sold me on them. And I had seen Secular Haze a few years ago, and it just wasn't my kind of thing. I can enjoy it now, but I listened to a bit of Skeleta, is the new record, and I only really like 2 or 3 songs from that record. I listened to the whole thing during the week. I was going to do it on stream, but we didn't have, you know, the pilot going. With this out of the way, I feel comfortable to listen to some new music on the air, you know. Super Troopers. I could have taken one of the hippie vans, that would have been cute. I thought those were troopers. Talking tunes. Yeah, so the only real tracks I liked from the new record were Lacrima, Satanized, and Peacefield. Whoa. Let's see the inside of it. Oh, you can see there's all nudie mags and stuff in there. No bathroom, just one room. It's actually not as big as I thought it would be. I wish you could look around the inside of vehicles more. Are these troopers? No, they're bickers. Will they try and shoot me for that? I don't know. I know bikers can get very territorial. Riding their bics, motor bics. A lot of hippie vans. There's like 7 hippie vans in a row. Maybe it's the part of the map we're in. Oh, I mean, how could you not have Lil Nas X? This is 2019 now. But I'm pretty sure that's when Old Town Road came out. Whoa. You have to give Lil Nas X some credit. This is a great song. I mean, it's a bit of a meme, but still, you know. I was Ion Band. Does that make you're a singer? No, I'm not a singer. There's plenty of bands with people on the mic who aren't singers. Like, what's his name? Mike Shinoda in Linkin Park. He did a lot of vocals, but I don't know if people call him a singer. He spent most of his time rapping, you know. When I was young, actually, there was a band called Hyro the Hero. I don't know if they're still about. And their singer would exclusively rap, but it was like a metal band. And they would do that kind of like hip-hop fusion with metal. Which, if you can pull it off, it's really good. And they were doing something interesting with it, you know. But I think because it was an outfit, like a 5-piece or band or something, that the hip-hop community had very little time for it. Because you would never see them... I don't even know if they went. They would usually went to download, and maybe they were pursuing. Kind of wish I drove that. They would pursue metal festivals, and not. They wouldn't pursue like hip hop festivals, but I guess it's a different scene. Like, I don't know if Tyler the Creator is on this playlist. I think he is. Oh, Hookies. We're already here. Wow. Let's find a boat. So, but. Tyler was talking about, you know, Camp Flogna being for the weird kids and stuff, but he wanted diversity there, but it's still mostly hip-hop acts there. Actually, that reminds me, I need to start listening to Sid, because I love the internet, the music act. See if we can find a boat.
I can't really play the guitar very well.
Well, we're on 2020, as you can see. So this is one of the songs that I think got me through the lockdown. I don't know about you. If you haven't listened to Inside or seen Inside by Bo Burnham, heavily recommend. even if you're not into his type of comedy.
Deadpool self-awareness, loving parents, harmless fun.
The boats on the road don't count.
The backlash to the backlash to the thing that's just begun. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. The Surgeon General's pop-up shop, Robert Iger's face. Discount Etsy agitprop, Bugle's take on race.
Keep an eye out for a boat.
Female Colonel Sanders, easy answer, Civil War. The whole world at your fingertips, the ocean at your door. The live-action Lion King, the Pepsi halftime show. 20,000 years of this, 7 more to go. Carpool karaoke, Steve Aoki.
I don't know if I'd make it out to that boat in time.
A gift shop at the gun range, a mass shooting at the mall. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. Reading Pornhub's terms of service.
Kind of nice road trip music a little bit.
For a drive and obeying
Uh-oh.
all the traffic laws in Grand Theft Auto 5. Full agoraphobic, losing focus, cover blown. A book on getting better, hand delivered by a drone. Total disassociation, fully out your mind. Googling derealization, hating what you find. That unapparent summer air in early fall. The quiet comprehending of the ending of it all. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. There it is again, that funny feeling, that funny feeling. Hey, what can you say? We were overdue, but it'll be over soon. You wait. Hey, what can you say? We were overdue, but it'll be over soon. Just wait. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, what can you say? We were overdue, but it'll be over soon. You wait. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, what
That
can
another
you
RV.
say? We were overdue,
Oh, no way.
but it'll be over soon. You wait. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
That was That Funny Feeling by Bo Burnham from Inside. We're catching up very quickly. So hopefully I can get to a boat before we do. Oh, leave the door open. So I've always been like a fan of Bruno Mars. Not, I haven't listened to much of his music, but everything he's put out I've liked. And when he started doing this more chilled out stuff, like less pop orientated, I vibed with it. Howie. Oh, there's a plane there. There has to be some boats out here. Oh, there is one. There's somebody in it. Oh no, there's not. Oh no, look, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. So, we're going to do one more lap of the island. And by the time we're done, I imagine the playlist shall be done. I was feeling bad about not talking while these songs are playing, but I feel sometimes it's nice to just kind of drink the music in, you know? Like a radio show. I hope I don't flip the thing. Oh no, 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 no. That was a close one. Maybe we could do one of these of GTA 4. If I can get it on my Xbox One, maybe we'll look into it. I wouldn't do it for all the GTAs.
Summer fashion announcement.
So I think we're up to 20... I guess 2021? I think Leave the Door Open came out in 2021 or 2020.
Basically, you choose. From breathable floral vases to modular wardrobes and stripy blockout blinds, IKEA has hundreds of new summer products to let summer in. Fabulous! Visit IKEA online or in store. IKEA, you're wonderful every day.
Oh, okay. I think we've caught up to this year already. So this takes me back to being in LA at the start of this year. I probably should have curated this playlist better toward the end. And you know what? I wasn't a huge fan of Billie Eilish before her latest album. Like, I heard Bad Boy, but I forget the name of her new album. Was it Hit Me Hard and Soft or something? But there's some good tunes on it, you know. Some of it I don't care for that much, but I don't know. The sound is nice. I did not think I was going to squeeze through there. And that's when Flick would say, "Oh, squeeze through, huh?" Whoa. Um, I think we've gone through most of the playlist, so I can kind of just touch base on other stuff that's going on, because I don't think I talked about it too much on Friday on Inside Oneself. We're gonna go back. We're gonna do the next Inside Oneself on Saturday coming, not Friday, because of schedules. We'll see how many more of these we can do. I don't know if I'll do the same kind of, you know, POV from a car gimmick. I want to do something different every time, as many times as I can. But with this one out of the way, I'd probably like to do one stream on soundtracks from movies and video games. We'll do the stream on Sleep Token, and I can't think of the other one. But we'll do like the catch-ups. We'll do one on Chromacopia. Maybe we'll just do a stream where I just catch up on new stuff, and then once we have like 3 or 4 of them done, we'll just do a show whenever there's a notable release coming out, I suppose. That seems like the fairest thing to do in terms of viewership and, you know, what kind of stuff we can react to. I mean, if people want me to listen to anything in particular, you can definitely tell me. What else? Oh yeah, I want to do a Blender stream. We could pair that with a music stream for sure, because I want to do like a massive RB Bowl poster with like every contestant we've ever had, and I've done a lot of pre-production work on that as well, which is nice. Okay, I think I put this on the playlist. I think this is one of the only songs that I've discovered through Spotify, because most of the songs I discover are through YouTube, because YouTube's recommendation for music is actually pretty good. I don't think it gets enough credit. Some songs will just kind of bring you somewhere, and it's not a specific time or place, but it is a feeling from a certain time, I guess. I wonder, could I have maybe done a full lap in the plane before touching down with it? Okay, we have 2 more songs left. And there is a duplicate. We actually have a duplicate coming up. It ends on a duplicate. It's probably not the one you thought. I don't know if there's any Clara fans here, but I stumbled onto Sexy to Someone, and it's the only song of hers I really was keen on. There's a lot of planes in the sky. Like the jumbo jets or whatever. So we're kind of, I think we started off chill with the playlist, and we're gonna end chill again, I feel. Wait, am I being shot? Are those police trying to get me? I can't see. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't have run that person over. That was wrong of me. I feel like I'll get away with it. Uh-oh. Sorry. I think I said it on my Twitter, but in terms of stuff that's coming along, there's... Oh, I can't even remember. We did 11 of Inside Oneself, so we still have to do 12, 13, 14, and 15. That's 4 more episodes. I have 2 cold opens ready. I'm working on a 3rd. Celtic is working on a 4th. And I asked Flick if there's going to be, if he can make a 5th or something, because he has a little bit of downtime between now and the next episode. Up to him. I am working on... I'm writing like a 5th one, but I don't want to use it for episode 15. I want to use it for like the final Inside One stuff that we do, be that the finale or like a bonus episode. I've already written it, but I'm rewriting it just because the draft that I'd already done was pretty bad. I have a list of things I'm meant to do. Oh yeah, we might be doing a redo of the opening animation for the finale of Oneself. It depends. It's contingent on if we have the time to do it, because there's a lot of work needed. I don't really like the one that I've already done. I mean, it's cool in places, but it could use a lot of work. I have to make fixes for the art for Inside Oneself. And then there's going to be the prom night machinima, which is like, we're going to be starting in the next few days, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm just trying to clear some stuff from my backlog, that's all it is. So we'll see if that gets done. I think we can get it done. By the end of the month, probably. Premiered and everything, we'll see. I mean, some of it I can make on my own, some of it I do need help with. I'm definitely being shot at by the police, yeah. Maybe I'll survive until the end of the song. Jesus. I mean, it's my fault for not obeying the traffic laws, I suppose. Where's the moon? This is our last track, so it's Daft Punk. I don't know if I'm getting shot or these are just the waves. Because if they were shooting me, I imagine they would have killed me by now. I was going to include soundtracks on this, but I don't think soundtracks have had the same impact on my relationship with music in the same way. They're just an extension of, they're kind of like an extension of the thing they're for, you know. Also, there's not many soundtracks on Spotify. Like not the ones I would want to use, you know what I mean? But I'll take a look under the hood for the stream and see if I can change a few things, you know. I can lose him here, I think. Outsmart them. Ha 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 ha. Oh, they just flew over it, okay. You're excited for the episode 15 once of, not much for the episode 12 one? Around the World is peak RB nostalgia song for me, yeah. And I don't know if Daft Punk were intentionally planning that, but they have made songs that are just so etched into the memory of millennials and that entire generation, you know. You always think of early RB song when you think it's the first time you heard it, yeah, because it was in the first episode, I remember. He had Around the World playing. It's great stuff, it really is great stuff. So, yeah, that was the playlist for the first episode of Talkin Tunes. I don't know. I hope you liked it. I hope maybe gave you something to think about. I would love to know if, you know, there's any new music that you're now interested in because of that. And definitely give some thought to recommending some stuff to me, because I want to hear some new music. I kind of listen to a lot of the same crap over and over. I'm trying to see how long I can live here because the playlist is over. The goal was to do an entire lap of Los Santos. I don't know how possible that is. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Yeah, so I would like to have the prom night machinima done by the end of this month, and up, if not premiered, at least uploaded, just because I'm away next month. And then at some point in July, I'll probably go back to the Guide to Machinima and look at getting that out before the summer is over, which is probably feasible. If I knuckle down, I could probably get it done. And Flick, asked about GTA Machinima. I'm probably not going to do a GTA one, but I will probably do another machinima outside of Halo by the end of this year. That's the goal. I have one proper Halo machinima project left in me, just in general. I would probably need a bit of a break from YouTube before I go into it, just so I'm recharged a little bit. I was meant to take a break from YouTube, if you remember my first video from the start of the year, but Blizz basically came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, you have to do a show now for oneself." So that's kind of taken up a lot of time for me. And that's kind of another reason why we're going crazy with Inside Oneself this month. I love doing the live show with Celtic and Flick, but I do want to kind of clear my schedule a little bit, just because we have to line up the guests, we have to prepare clips and material and stuff for it. It's not that demanding, but it is a commitment for sure. Even though I don't get insane views on my streams, it feels good to be able to try out the things I want to try out and get them out of the way, Are these guys even trying to shoot me? I have a better shot than they do. Oopsie daisies. Well, I'm not gonna hand myself in willingly. I'm gonna keep driving until I get my lap done. Although I'm positive these guys will probably kill me. I mean, it's like, if you ever seen the movie Margin Call with Jeremy Irons and Kevin Spacey, the music has stopped. Wait, did I actually lose them? Oh no. Okay. I think they caught me again. They should have more caves on the beach and stuff, so you can kind of give them the slip. I don't think I actually think of... I was going to say I don't think of Arabian Chief when I hear Around the World, but I think I'm probably lying. I haven't listened to that song in a while. I didn't know it was Daft Punk at the time. I wasn't aware of Daft Punk's catalogue of music when I first started watching Arabian Chief. I was 14 years old. I was a dumb kid. Oh. I keep thinking whenever they ask for my whereabouts that I've lost them, but obviously not if the light is still on me, like the searchlight. Could you imagine being on a beach chilling out and this goes by you? God, this boat is taking some amount of punishment, I swear to God. Guys, if I get my lap done, I win. And they lose. Like, I have no idea where I am on the map, but I'm guessing I'm close enough to Mount Chiliad. So are we halfway there? I think it's like near the army base where I got the boat. Or just past it. I mean, given like how much time it takes to get to my destination, maybe I could put on one of those albums, you know? I mean, I don't know if I should listen to an entire discography, or not, yeah, entire like catalog music. I'd rather listen to like one album or something from their latest releases, so I know where they're at. I don't think there's another hour left in this. There's probably like half, maybe 30 minutes. We'll go up to 9. It's like 8:45 now, I think. I was prepared to go until 10 because I thought for some reason the playlist would take longer to get through, but we actually got it through it pretty quickly. And we discussed it, you know. If I die or this boat combusts on me, then I'll probably call it there. It's impossible to get an angle on them to shoot them. I mean, when we talk about soundtracks and stuff, I am probably going to talk about John's music because it is pretty influential. Like it gives the show a sense of identity, especially from season 5 onwards, I would say. One thing I don't like about this is that all the NPC boats just become police boats on the water. You never get to see any like NPC and like civilian boats anymore. I have no cheats on, by the way. Zero. Like, I've already gotten killed once before, and it's surprising to me that this boat hasn't... Like, you can see the cracked glass and everything. Like, this boat has taken a beating. I think I'm only like 2 or 3 stars, you know. I don't have the army or whatever on me. It was on my mind to do a Fortnite stream for that new Star Wars event, because it is really interesting. It's pretty fun, but it's also kind of, how should I say, it's if you fly those TIE fighters or the X-wings and stuff, it gets way OP way too quickly. So I don't know if I'll make it all the way around until the army base or wherever I got this boat. Maybe I'll go back to the city. Oh wait, there is a civilian boat. Holy shit. I think I'd die if I tried to hijack it. It would slow me down too much, just making the switch. The goal right now is to make it until 9, or make it back to the city. If they're trying to kill me, they're not trying very hard. This is what I get for having bad music taste. Oh no! Oh no! Ah, I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I fucked it up real good. Oh, I thought I could get the car. Well, you win some, you lose some. What can I say? That's on nobody but myself. I probably could have made it had I watched where I was going, which is something that caught me earlier on in this stream. That was Talking Tunes, folks. I hope you had a really good time. I actually had a lot of fun. It was lovely talking with you, chilling with you, listening to music with you. There's the cops again. And the helicopter's still going around. Does it still think I'm wanted or something? I'm gonna get back to work. I'll see you next Saturday for Inside Oneself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good week ahead. I'm on Twitter. Everybody looking at me. Yep. Derelictcountry on Instagram, Twitter. You're on YouTube. Twitch, but I don't use it. Yeah. Take care of yourselves. I love you.